Welcome to Mr. Brandt's 5th grade everyday math review, and in this video we're going to be going over some more U.S. traditional multiplication, this time with a 3-digit by a 2-digit and a 3-digit by a 3-digit problem. And then we'll also finish up with some example problems from the practice at the bottom of the home link. So the first example problem we're going to do is 627 times 53. 627 times 53. And we're going to start with an estimate. So for our top number, this time we're going to be rounding to the nearest hundred. So this one's going to be either 600 or 700. So we're going to look one to the right. So that's 2. 2 is less than 4, so 6 stays the same. So 627 would round to 600. For the bottom number, we're going to go to the nearest 10. So this is going to be, it's between 50 or 60. And 3 is also less than 4. So the 5 is going to stay the same. So 53 rounds to 50. So now we have 600 times 50. There are 3 zeros, and then 6 times 5 is 30. So our estimate is 30,000. Now let's find our actual problem. And my cat's walking around here getting in my way. So like we've been working on, we start with the top number and we go from the right to the left. And we're going to multiply all the top numbers by the ones place. So the light blue first. So we're going to start 7 times 3 is 21. Then 2 times 3 is 6. We're going to add the 2 to that, and that gives us 8. Then we go out to the 6. The 6 times 3 is 18. Hey, it's a palindrome. 1881, same forward and backwards. So now that I'm done with the ones place, I like to cross those off and get rid of them. And I'm going to move on to the orange in the tens place. Since we're multiplying by the tens place, you can put a 0 down as your placeholder. And you should. And we're going to go back up to the top, work our way from right to left. 7 times 5 is 35. 2 times 5 is 10, plus the 3 is 13. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Then we're going to finish by adding those together. So 1 plus 0 is 1. 8 plus 5 is 13. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 3 is 12. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. And finish with 3. So our actual answer is 33,231. All right, let's move on to a 3-digit by a 3-digit number. And in this case, we're going to do 718 times 409. And like we did in the previous problem, we're going to start with an estimate. So we're going to round to the nearest hundred. We're going to look to the place to the right. So 1 is less than 4, so this stays the same. So 718 rounds to 700. 409, we're also going to round to the hundreds place because it's the greatest place. Look to the right, it's 0, so that's less than 4. 4 below it stays the same, so this 4 stays the same. So 409 rounds to 400. Then if we multiply those together, we have 4 zeros. And then 7 times 4 is 28. So 280,000 is our estimate. Now let's get to the actual answer. And we're going to start with the ones place again. Start from the top. We're going to work from right to left. 8 times 9 is 72. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 7 is 16. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 1 is 64. So that gets me done with the ones place. So I'm going to move on to the tens place. Since it's the tens place, I'm going to put down my 0 for a placeholder. And since I have a 0 here, that makes it a little bit easier. But just to go through the process, we still start at the top, work from right to left. So 8 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. And then 7 times 0 is also 0. And now I'm done with the tens place. Now we move on to the hundreds place. Hundreds place, we need to put down 2 zeros for our placeholder. Anytime we multiply a number by 100, it's going to end with 2 zeros. Anytime we multiply a whole number by 100, it's going to end with 2 zeros. Start at the top from right to left. 8 times 4 is 32. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3 is 7. And 7 times 4 is 28. So now I can go ahead and add up all of those numbers together. So this is going to be 2, 6, another 6. 6 plus 7 is 13. 1 plus 8 is 9. And then our 2. So our actual answer for that problem is 293,602. All right, let's move on to the practice problems at the bottom. And I'm going to do a couple of those, and I'm going to try to get through these quickly because this video is starting to get a little bit on the long side. So let's start with 6 times 20,000. 6 times 20,000, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So when we're doing problems like this, we're going to have 4 zeros in our answer. 6 times 2 is 12. So we have 120,000. Now, the next problem is going to be very similar. We have 6 times 2 times 10 to the 4th. And in this problem, we just put down our 4 zeros, and we can do the same thing here. And hopefully you can see how these problems are similar. So we've got 10 to the 4th, which is 10,000. So that gives us our 4 zeros. Then we have 6 times 2 is 12, which is very similar to how we solved that problem. All right, our next problem is going to be, and I'm going to write both of these down, 30,000, excuse me, not 30,000, 3,000 times 500 and 3 times 10 to the 3rd times 5 times 10 to the 2nd. And you can see how 5 times 10 to the 3rd fits with 3,000, and 5 times 10 to the 2nd fits with 500. So let's actually start with this problem here on the right. And when I look at this problem, I'm going to actually think of it this way. I'm going to think of it as 3 times 5. And if we put 10 to the 2nd and 10 to the 3rd together, that gives me 10 to the 5th. So 3 times 5 is 15. 10 to the 5th is going to give me 5 zeros because that's 100,000. And 100,000 has 5 zeros. Now I can start from the right, count back 3 spots. 1, 2, 3, put a comma. 1, 2, 3, put another comma. So that gives me 1,500,000. We're going to get the same answer for this problem. But when we look at this, there's 5 zeros in the problem. So that's going to give me my 5 zeros. And then we do 3 times 5, which is 15. As you can see, that's very similar to the way that we did this problem. So hopefully this helps you on your home link. Thanks for joining me today, and have a great rest of your day.